Hello, this is David Fielding, and this is my art presentation. Ursula von Rydingsvard was born in Germany in 1942 during World War II. Ursula's father was a woodcutter from Poland and moved to Germany in 1938. He and his family worked in a Nazi labor camp during the war. Their homes were made all of wood from the floors, ceilings, and walls. After the war, her family lived in several refugee camps. In 1950, her family moved to the United States, where she began an education. She had 3 degrees in art and an honorary doctorate degree. Here are some of her sculptures I'd like you to see. Ursula's studio is in the state of New York, where she employs several people and works on many commissions. Ursula has a strong work ethic that her family instilled in her at a very young age. She is personally involved in each work of art and tries to find the opposition in the wood. She loves to have opposite forces in all her work. She feels it brings out the emotion in each piece. She doesn't use a model or drawing to form her work. She believes it to be too restricting in her creativity. She builds and screws together one layer at a time with 4x4 cedar and draws unique markings on top of them so that she can reassemble them later with glue to make the finished product. Here you can see the markings where the person is drilling the screws in so that when they are unassembled, they can be reassembled back in the orderly fashion that they were taken apart. These massive vices with the 2x4 and 2x6 lumber compressing the wood together, the glue will be able to hold and will be as strong as the wood itself. Here, Ursula is spraying the 2x4 with graphite and taking a paintbrush so that she can push in the graphite into the pores of the cedar so that it will give it a patinaed look. This work of art is an exterior structure of ginormous proportions. Ursula von Rydingsvard created the Luba in 2000. The Luba is made of cedar, graphite, bronze. It is located in Mountain Hill, New York, and was commissioned by Storm King Art Center. The Luba is a very unique piece of art, even for Ursula's standard. The Luba is a giant structure that stands an amazing 17 feet 8 inches high. It has a 9 foot 7 inch by 7 foot 4 inch wide base. It has two arm-like structures that come off the top portion of the figure and works their way down in a slow bowed angle until they touch the ground. Of these arms, we see a transition from cedar wood to hardened bronze about 3/4 of the way down. The arms were originally made of all cedar, but after the lower portion was completed, Ursula took the lower quarter and molded it and poured a bronze cast. The Luba was inspired by a smaller artwork from her collection she had done previously, but wanted to make the likeness of it on a grand scale. She felt the smaller piece was her most vulnerable piece of work she had completed to this date, and wanted to place that same vulnerability into the Luba. The Luba itself is the name after a Polish word that references the female and is very endearing in nature. The arms of the Luba represent a woman's arm as a holding a child. It has an intimacy and nurturing emotion of its own. The Luba is all the things Ursula wanted to represent in her work when she received the commission from Storm King Art Center. The line of the sculpture is vertical. It draws me to the center of the body and up, and then allows me to follow the arms down to the ground. The wood that it is made with gives it a soft, earthy feel and blends with the outdoor setting around its location. The color is a natural gray patina that the wood fades to when it's left outside, but has shades of graphite and black is present on the bronze arms. The space around the Luba is wide and spacious, with trees flanking 3 sides of the structure, acting like protectors to their shorter brother. The statue looks as if it were set directly on grass at this location. I am sure this is not the truth, because a structure made of wood of this size would slowly lean from the pressure on an unsecured base. It is most likely placed on a base of concrete or stone and given the appearance of growing out of the earth with just grass and soil as its only roots. As I studied about the art Ursula created, I was having a hard time falling in love with her art. I found that I could like it, I could understand her concepts, I could see her process of making the art and what emotion she was trying to convey. It wasn't until I watched the program on the internet that I found on YouTube that I fell in love with the Luba. The way she talked about the Luba and why she did it was fascinating. The how part of making the figure alone was intriguing. I feel it is wonderful to have these little epiphanies about art, when you have no idea what the artist is trying to express in the art, and then, out of the blue, the meaning is expressed to you. It almost translates your mind from ignorance to amazement in an instant.